secretes saliva. Okay, so more salivation is what to say contributed from this uvular mucus glands, and this is required with respect to the throat. So you can see the throat is also kept moist throughout. So this is the only details I got, and nothing more than this. Okay, so is it clear to you, the person who asked me yesterday about the function of uvula? So guys, now what is the mission? Your mission, why you are studying here? Your vision and your values. Okay. So now I will start with our topic today about the larynx. Okay. So this is also in chapter 9 of Keith Moore. The objective today is oh, this became all upside down. So you have to study the anatomy of the larynx, and you have to know some bones like the hyoid and the thyroid cartilage and all that is forming the what to say the larynx. Then the vagus nerve supply, function of the vocal cord, the position, action of different muscles. Okay, so we'll see today all this. So it is actually it is easy, but uh, you will have some sort of confusion. So try to understand how much you can, and inshallah this will not create any confusion. I'll try to keep the things as simple as possible. So as you know that the larynx is called as the voice box. So you know that this is concerned with the phonation, that is the production of sound, isn't it? So the sound is produced here. Not only this, it is also having a respiratory function, isn't it? Up to the because this will transmit the air through the to the trachea and all that. So so this will be communicating below with the trachea, that will be forming the what to say the lower respiratory tract, and above it will be communicating with the pharynx, that is the laryngopharynx, isn't it? So it will have two communications, above and below. Then you will see that as any other structure in the body, this will be covered with skin, superficial fascia. Then you will have some muscles concerned with it. So you will have infrahyoid, suprahyoid muscles. Okay, they will be concerned with the elevation and depression of the larynx, which will be on the outer side, this muscle. So we are not going to study this muscle. We'll study just the intrinsic muscles of larynx. Okay. Then you might have also noticed that when you swallow something, this larynx is moving, isn't it? So it moves with the process of swallowing. Also, you might have noticed the difference in the what to say the angulation between in the childhood period and from puberty. This becomes more marked in the males and females, as well as the change in the voice, isn't it? We'll see this when study the thyroid cartilage. Now, uh, you will also see that this vocalization, or the yes vocalization area, is there in the brain in the lower part of your motor cortex. So you will see that a large area has been given, and that is called as the vocalization area. Now, because of this, what to say, in the human beings, because in the human beings, the capabilities is what to say, because the larynx is well developed in human beings, so its capabilities are greatly enhanced, isn't it? So it is greatly enhanced. Why? Because it is having a greater area of representation. And so what to say, our cerebral cortex governs and controls our speech, isn't it? So you should say alhamdulillah, you have two ears but you have one tongue. Imagine if it was vice versa or something. So that's why it is said that you should listen properly. Okay. And understand, and then you should speak. So you should speak less. So got it, guys? So uh, this is about the what to say. You can say about the larynx. Now you will see the extent and its situation. So where it is present, where it is located in the body. Yes, anybody? In the neck. Yes, in the anterior region of the neck. Okay, so this lies in the anterior uh, uh, anterior region of the neck, and this is one of the midline structure. Okay, so this is in the midline of the neck, and it extends from the root of the tongue. Okay, root of the tongue up to the trachea. So this is its extent. So if you see that it corresponds with the what to say 3 to 6 cervical vertebra. If you see if you see the extent posteriorly, the corresponding vertebrae will be the cervical vertebrae 3 to 6. Okay, and in children's it will be at a little bit higher position, as well as in females it will be a little bit higher in position. Then what about the size? What is the size of it? So it is said that approximately its length is about 44 millimeters in males. Laryngopharynx also contains. No. Laryngopharynx is different. We finished yesterday. That was part of pharynx. Now we are dealing only with pharynx. So this pharynx we are dealing today will have the function of phonation and air. What to say? Air passage. That's all. Okay. So it will be 44 millimeters in males and 36 millimeters in females. Okay, and you will see that at puberty the growth will be very rapid in males, and in females the growth will be very negligible. So this was about its general introduction. Then here you will see that the laryngeal skeleton. Now what it is made up of? So you will see that it is made up of cartilages. You will come across here one bone that is called as hyoid bone, but as such, hyoid bone has nothing to do with larynx. Okay, it has nothing to. It will not what to say contribute in the larynx. Only the thing is that you have some muscles connected above and below the hyoid. So this supra and infrahyoid muscles, they are just concerned with the what to say the elevation and depression of the larynx during the swallowing or deglutition process. Uh, so, um, so we'll talk about the what to say. 1 second. The next slide. Anyway, so now we'll see the different cartilage. Now here you will see that you will have some paired and unpaired cartilages. Now the unpaired should be in the center, isn't it? When you talk about unpaired, they should be in the midline, isn't it? They should be in the midline. So in the midline, you will have the biggest cartilage. This is I have put dots here. So this is the thyroid cartilage. Okay. Below the thyroid, this is the cricoid cartilage, and this you see here in the next picture. This is the what to say the epiglottis. So these three cartilages are in the center in the midline, and they are unpaired cartilages. You have another cartilage. This is called as the paired one. This is the arytenoid. This is the arytenoid cartilage. Okay, the unpaired you have seen. This is the epiglottis. Yes, you cannot see epiglottis. Then this is the thyroid. Okay, and where is the cricoid? This is the cricoid. This is the cricoid. Okay. Okay, so this is the thyroid. This line I put, this is the cricoid cartilage, and this is the epiglottis. So these are the unpaired which are present in the midline. Now this is the arytenoid, this one, okay, arytenoid. Sitting over the apex of the arytenoid, this is the corniculate. Okay, so this is one pair, this is another pair. Corniculate, then you have the cuneiforms. So they are small, very tiny rod like, which will be seen in the, what to say, somewhat anterior to this corniculate, but they will be in this airy epiglottic fold, which will be coming from here. Airy means arytenoid, and this epiglottic. So one fold will be extending like this. So you will see in the lower part of the fold. Okay. So it is not shown here in this part, in this picture. So you can see. So now how many you have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So total you have 9 cartilages forming the larynx. So out of 9 you have 3 unpaired. Okay, you have 3 unpaired and 3 are the paired cartilages. Now we'll see the features of this cartilage. It is very important for us to know, because then only you will understand the intrinsic muscles and its functioning. So now here you can see this is the thyroid cartilage. This is the anterior aspect. This is the anterior aspect. This is the uh, this is its superior border. You can see this is the superior border. Now this superior border, you can see it is deep or notched in the center. This is the notch. So this is called the thyroid notch. Okay, this is called the thyroid notch. Okay, so you can see here. Uh, so this is not a straight border. Okay, so it is presenting a notch in between. So you can see this is the notch, right? This is the inferior border. Okay, this one is the inferior border. Okay, and this is also not a straight border. Now here you will see this is a quadrangular lamina. Okay, so the two laminas, they will fuse anteriorly in the midline here. Okay, so when they fuse, they make an angulation here. Okay, so this is called the laryngeal prominence. This is the laryngeal prominence, or the Adam's apple. Now this prominence grows in males after puberty. Okay, so this makes an angle of 90 degrees in the male, whereas this angle will be 120 degrees in the female. So it is not marked in females, whereas it is very much marked in the males. Okay, and this cartilaginous growth continues in the male. So you will see that this is progressively growing up to the age of 40 years. It continues its growth. Okay, so you can see this and you can feel this. Then here you will see this is the anterior aspect. Now anterior borders, they are fused. Now I'll go to the posterior. Now here you can see this is showing you the posterior aspect. In the posterior aspect, you can see this is the posterior border, isn't it? This is the posterior border, which is free. And in the upper part, you can see this is forming a rounded structure. This is called as the superior horn or the superior cornu. Superior horn or superior cornu. And this is inferiorly presenting in the same way. So this is the inferior horn or the inferior cornu of the thyroid cartilage. Now here posteriorly, now this is the posterior, what to say, or you can say this is the inner surface, or you can also say it as the posterior surface. So here what you will see inside will be, what to say, prominent areas. So here will be the attachment of your vocal process and the vocal cord. Okay, so above will be for the vocal process. Yes. Can you see this dot I made just now? And here will be the below. Now I'm making, this is for the vocal cord. Okay. Got it? I will try to expand this little bit. Is it clear now? Change the color. Okay. Okay, so you can see this one. So now here will be, these are the point for the what to say, the vocal folds. Okay, so you have the vocal folds here, they will be attached here. Okay, then here you have one tubercle where you will get the attachment of the epiglottis also. Epiglottis will be attached over here on the inner side. Okay, then this is the lateral view of the thyroid cartilage, where you can see this red color attachment of the muscle. So you can see this is showing the oblique line. See here, this is the oblique line. So this is extending. Now see, this is the ending of the superior border here on the lateral surface. So here this is the tubercle. So this is the superior tubercle, and here this is the inferior tubercle. Now extending between this is the oblique line, and attached to this oblique line will be these muscles. That is the sternothyroid and the thyrohyoid. That means they are going to the thyroid. Okay. So this will be the infrahyoid and this will be the suprahyoid muscle. So anyway, we will not be dealing with this muscle. We will see some other muscle. Okay. Of course, it is attached in this part. So this is clear to you? So that we move now to the cricoid cartilage. Now cricoid cartilage is, okay, so now cricoid cartilage is a signet ring-like structure. It is a ring-like structure. That means anteriorly the part is narrow and posteriorly it is broad. So the part on the anterior side is called as arch. The one on the posterior side is called as the lamina. So this is the superior view. Okay, so you can have a superior view, or I will go back to this one. You can see here. Okay, this is the skeletal framework. Okay, so your larynx model will be like this. So what you see here, it starts with the hyoid bone. So what you see this, this is the hyoid bone. Okay, so this is the bone. Projecting from the superior aspect of the bone, you have, this is the epiglottis, and this is your thyroid cartilage. This is the cricoid cartilage, and below the cricoid cartilage, this is the trachea. Okay, so you can see the shape of the cricoid cartilage anteriorly. This is narrow. Okay, this is narrow. So this is the arch of the cricoid cartilage. So this part is arch. So arch means it is anterior. Okay. Now you can see this part. I'll enlarge it. So you can see now. So this is the enlarged posterior part. So you can see this is the posterior aspect of the cricoid cartilage. So this is the lamina. Okay, so this is the lamina. So on the lamina, you will see this is this is the central part, and this is its lateral part. Okay. Here in this upper part, superiorly, you will see it presents some articular facet. So for this articular facet here, this is for the articulation with the arytenoid cartilage. Okay, so this will be the cricoarytenoid joint. So cricoarytenoid joint will be a synovial joint which permits the rotatory movement. We'll see this later on. Okay, and so this is sufficient for you here. Okay. Now this picture I will show you again when I will talk about the muscle attachment. Okay. Now here, yes, you can see this is the arytenoid cartilage. Now you can see this, it is somewhat pyramidal in shape. Okay, so this, it has an apex. Okay, so this is the apex, and this is the base here. Okay, so now this apex will be articulating with the what to say, the corniculate cartilage. You can see here in this picture, isn't it? At the apex, you have the corniculate cartilage. Okay. Now at the base, now see, this is the base part. This is the base part. Okay. So now here you can see very clearly this point. See, this is. Um, I stretch it a little down. Now here you can see. Now see, this is the arch. This is the arch, means this is the anterior side. Okay, and this is the posterior aspect. So now concentrate here. Now see, anteriorly, this part, this is called as the anterior process. This is called as, this is the extension of the base anteriorly. So this is called as anterior process or the vocal process. Okay. Anteriorly, the process is called as the vocal process. Okay. This gives attachment to the vocal cord or the vocal ligament. In the same way, you have a lateral extension. This is called as the lateral process. The name given to it is the muscular process. This will provide attachment to some muscles. So keep this in mind. So the apex, it will form a joint with the corniculate cartilage, and the base will present two extensions. One will be anteriorly, that will be the vocal process. One will be laterally, that will be the muscular process. Okay. So now this is the posterior surface, this is the anterior, and here you can see. Now this is the lateral view. So in the lateral view, you can see here. See, now this is the vocal process, this is the muscular process. Okay, and this is for the articulation of with the thyroid cartilage. Okay, so this is clear to you. Now I will talk little about the epiglottis. So you can see the epiglottis. This is like a leaf-shaped or tongue-shaped cartilage. Okay, all these are mostly, what to say, this is an elastic cartilage. Okay, and the others mostly they are the hyaline type of cartilage. So there are chances, if it is hyaline type of cartilage, so it may undergo what to say, ossification. So as the age advances, you may see some mottling. That means when you see the X-rays, so after the age of 40 or between 40 to 65, you may see some dense patches in this cartilages. So it is normal because they can what to say, mottling means some parts will be like ossified. So, and this is not abnormal, this is normal in the cartilages. So epiglottic cartilage, this is leaf like. Okay, so this has, what to say, this will be its lateral. Okay, these are its lateral borders. Okay, this is its superior aspect, and this is its stalk. This is the stalk of the epiglottis, which will be attached to the thyroid cartilage. I told you, from the inner surface between the vocal process, this will be attached there. Okay, so this picture is clear to you, everybody? Yes or no? Hey guys, are you sleeping? Sleeping, yes. Or understood, yes. Okay. Uh, okay, okay. So here I just wanted to show you the position of the hyoid bone. Okay, so you can see this is, so under the mandible, you can see here the hyoid bone. See, just under the mandible, the bone which you see is the hyoid bone. Now this here you can see between the thyroid cartilage and the hyoid bone, this is the thyrohyoid membrane. This is the thyrohyoid membrane and the ligaments, okay, that is connected. So this is the connection between the hyoid and the thyroid. Plus you have some muscles which will be extending from the thyroid to the hyoid. Okay, so like the thyrohyoid, you have seen one. Okay, So you have these muscles. They will help in what to say elevating this larynx during swallowing process or deglutition process. So you can see this is the hyoid bone. This is the body of the hyoid. Okay, this is the body. This is the lesser horn or lesser cornu. This is the greater horn or greater cornu of the hyoid bone. Okay, because with swallowing it will be elevated, isn't it? You try to swallow and see what happens, and keep your hand on the front of your neck in the midline. Because of these muscles, because of when you are swallowing, see, if it is water or food you are swallowing, isn't it, not the air? So when you are swallowing, what happens, this is lifted up and this gets closed, the what to say, laryngeal inlet is closed, so the direction is to the laryngopharynx. So from pharynx it will go to the esophagus. Got it? So this is showing you the same things here. And uh, now here you can see these are the, if you can, because this is the aripiglotic fold, and in that you can see this, uh, you can see just this white, or what to say, some pearly shining structure. Can you see this? The cuneiform and the corniculate cartilages. Okay. This was the only picture available to show you this in the aripiglotic folds. Okay, so I will move to the next slide now. Now, guys, this is the interior of larynx. Interior of larynx, what you will see here. There are some other points also for the cartilages, but I have not given you because I don't think that you need it. Okay, so just leave it. You can, no problem. Now here you can see this is the inlet of larynx. Okay, so this is the section inlet of larynx. So you will see the inlet here. This is bounded by the epiglottis. Okay, so this is the epiglottis. This one. Okay. Then as you go down here, this will be the, where is the editing? Okay, so here you can see these are the vestibular folds. Okay, so this is the vestibular fold, and below you will see this is the vocal folds. Did you notice this, all of you? So now in the interior of larynx, if you see, the interior will be, see, I did the red dots. 1 minute, I will enlarge it. Can you see now the red dots? So this is the epiglottis. Okay, now just concentrate here. This is the epiglottis. Now as you go down, now you are coming in the region of the arytenoid. Okay, so now here you will see you have the vestibular fold in the upper part, this one, and you have the vocal folds. Okay, or the vocal ligaments. Here you can see these are the two. Okay, and this is the part below it. This is in, okay. Now this region, okay, between the epiglottis and this vocal folds, or what to say, this vestibular fold, sorry, okay, this vestibular fold. So epiglottis and the vestibular fold, this is called as the vestibule or the supraglottic area. Okay, so this is called as the laryngeal vestibule or supraglottic area. Then this is one vestibular fold, this is the another vestibular fold, and the gap between these two, this gap, this is the rima vestibuli. This is the rima vestibuli. In the same way, between the two vocal folds, you have the rima glottidis. Okay, you have the rima glottides, and here you can see this. I will remove this. Okay, now this is the middle part. Okay, this is the middle part here. Can you see this? So this is called as the sinus of the larynx. This is the sinus of larynx, and this is the infraglottic part. This is the infraglot. So below the vocal folds, below the vocal fold, this will be the glottic area. So vestibule or supraglottic, sinus or ventricle, same, and the infraglottic part. Okay, so whatever you want to say. So now larynx is divided into, or the inlet is, the interior is divided into three parts. Now we'll come to this, what to say, this is the ventricle. So in the ventricle, what you will see, this is the gap between the vestibular fold up and the vocal folds below. Now this, you will see, this is the anterior extension of the ventricle between, you can see this is the thyroid cartilage. Okay, so now this is, it is extending anteriorly here. So this is called as the, what to say, the laryngeal ventricle. Okay, now this area is provided with numerous mucous glands. Okay, so this will moisten the vocal folds, because as such of all the interior will be having the mucous glands, mucus secreting glands, so they will keep it moist, except the vocal folds or the vocal ligaments, they are not having this. So this will be helped by this extra mucus gland or secretion from here, that will keep it moistened. Okay, and this, from the interior, it will be lined by the mucous membrane. Okay, and in this mucous membrane you will see the different muscles that we'll talk now. So this is just in short about the interior. Okay, so the vestibule or the supraglottic part, this is the supraglottic part or the vestibule, this is the sinus or ventricle, and this is the infraglottic part. So these parts are clear to you? Now, the laryngeal muscles. This is the very important part we'll see today. The laryngeal muscles, they are divided into extrinsic and intrinsic groups. Okay, so intrinsic laryngeal muscles will move the laryngeal components. That means, what to say, the vocal folds. So this will be altering the length, the tension of the vocal cord, the size and shape of the glottis, and then what to say, accordingly you will have its function. And you will see that. Now this is the table shown here, which will, so here you can see the origin, insertion, nerve supply, and action, main action. Okay. Now here you can notice one thing. See here. These are the muscles we will see now. I'll show you now. Just I will talk about the nerve supply here. Okay, so nerve supply, cricothyroid is the only muscle which gets the nerve supply from the external laryngeal nerve. Okay, these are all the branches of vagus. And with this exception, this is exception. Okay, I will put E. This is the exception. All other muscles are supplied by the recurrent laryngeal nerve. Okay, so you should remember, this is the motor supply. Okay, so all the intrinsic muscles of larynx are supplied by recurrent laryngeal nerve, except the cricothyroid. So cricothyroid is supplied by external laryngeal nerve. Okay, keep this in mind. Now I'll move to these muscles. Mm, Now see here, guys. This is the lamina of the the arch of the cricoid cartilage, and this is the thyroid, the lower border. Okay. Now extending between the borders, this is the cricothyroid muscle. And before that, I should give you some simple muscle. One second. Mm, Now look here. This picture. This is the posterior side. This is the lamina of the lamina of the cricoid cartilage. This is, you can see this muscle. Okay, you can see this muscle. So this is where on the posterior side. So posterior what? Cricoid. So posterior crico. Okay, posterior crico. Now this is going to the arytenoid process. The lateral, you have seen the lateral, that is the muscular process. So I will go back. Just keep this picture in mind. Okay. Should we know all the insertions and origin? If you can, it is very good. See, if you understand, no need to by heart it. So this is what I am concentrating now. Okay, other things you can read it, but this you just need understanding. Okay, so just see here. This is on the posterior side. So first thing is fixed. That is, this is the posterior. Now this is posterior part of which bone? This is the cricoid. Okay, so posterior crico. Now its insertion is on the arytenoid. See here, posterior cricoarytenoid. Okay, so origin is posterior surface. Read here once. Okay, posterior surface of lamina of cricoid cartilage, and this goes to the vocal. Go to the. This is not vocal process. This is wrong in your book. This is the muscular process of the arytenoid cartilage. Okay, good. I have read here, so I came to know. Now this is your arytenoid cartilage here. So look here, guys. Now where is, this is your muscular process here. You got it? This is your muscular process. I will erase the things now better. So here you can see, this part. This is for the posterior cricoarytenoid. Okay, so it is on the posterior surface of the cricoid lamina. Now where it is going? This is going. Now see, where is the muscular process here? Oh, it is not shown. Now here you can see, this is, you can see here. Okay, this is the muscular process. Now this muscle will come from here and it will go here like this. So it is like this, isn't it? Isn't it? The fibers coming like this. Got it? Now what will happen? What is our rule? That when the muscle will contract, its point of insertion will move. Point of insertion will move. Now what will happen? When this muscle will contract, this muscular process will be pulled medially in this direction, isn't it? Got it, guys? It will be pulled in this direction. So now what will be the action here? Because here you have like this, extending from here will be the vocal folds. So when this muscular process, it will move like this. What will happen? This will move apart. This will move apart. So what will happen? This will be abduction of the vocal cords. This will be what? Abduction of the vocal cords. So what it is producing? Posterior cricoarytenoid. It is producing abduction of the vocal cord. Got it, guys? Clear? Yalla, alhamdulillah. Okay. Now I will show you another muscle. I'll go back. Now here. Uh, this is the cricothyroid. No, I want lateral cricothyroid. Now see here. This is the lateral cricoarytenoid. This is the lateral cricoarytenoid. Now see, this is coming. This is the cricoid cartilage. This is its angle of the what to say, the arch and lamina. So now from the lateral surface, the muscle is coming, lateral surface of the cricoid to the muscular process of the arytenoid. So what is this? See, the lateral, because it is on the lateral side of what? Cricoid, lateral side of cricoid, and going to the arytenoid muscular process. Okay. So now what will happen? This is what to say, this is the muscular process. This is the what to say, when this part will be pulled now. Okay, so this muscle will exert a pulling effect on this side, so this will move in this sorry, it will move in this direction, isn't it? So what is happening? Your vocal cords, you can see these are the vocal cords, so the vocal cords are coming near to each other, so it is bringing about adduction of the vocal cords, isn't it? Adduction of the vocal cord. Got it? Is it clear to you? So see, the muscle which is coming from the posterior side, so posterior cricoarytenoid, it will pull it backward medially, so it will be abduction of the vocal cord. Now laterocricoarytenoid, it is pulling anteriorly medially, so adduction of the vocal cord. So these are the muscle that will open and close the glottis, the rima glottidis, isn't it? We said that the gap between the two vocal cords is the rima glottis. So the opening and closing of the rima glottis depends on the lateral and the posterior cricoarytenoid muscles. Okay. Now we will see. Now see, this is the vocalis muscle which is lying in the vocal cords. So this is the vocal cord here, and this is the vocalis muscle. Now lying in this vocalis, so this is stretching between, see here, this is the middle of the thyroid cartilage and this is the vocal process. Now there should be something to pull it anteriorly. So what will happen? This distance will increase. So this muscle will stretch. So that will be the tensor of the vocal muscle. And there should be something that should take it back, so that will be the relaxer of the vocal muscle. Okay. So now if you see this lateral cricoarytenoid, sorry, cricothyroid. So this is the lateral cricothyroid. So what will happen? This will pull, you can see the direction. So this will pull the thyroid cartilage like this. So when the thyroid cartilage is pulled like this, what will happen? When this will move down, because see, the pull is from the lower side. So naturally this will be tilting like this, isn't it? It will tilt like this. So when this will tilt, what will happen? This distance will increase. So when this distance will increase here, this one, the arrows are showing. So this will tense the vocalis. This will tense the vocalis. Okay, so tensor of the vocal cord is the lateral cricoarytenoid muscle. Got it? Is it clear to you? Now you have to see 1 minute. Where is the vertical? So we finish this and uh, vocalis and this. One second, there is one more to show you here. Where is this picture I will show you. Now, guys, here you should know one thing. Here I will show you. Now, see, when this epiglottis will be pulled backwards, so it will, now see, this epiglottis should be pulled here backward. So what will happen? This vestibule will be closed. So this will be the what to say, the thyroepiglottic muscle that will pull it like this. So this will, what it will do, it will close the glottis. So when the glottis is closed, that means this happens during swallowing. So the food is directed into the pharynx and esophagus. So you have muscle that will close the glottis and the muscle that will what to say, open the glottis, or you can say the what to say, um, the inlet, the muscle acting at the inlet of larynx. Okay. Lahza, where is my picture? One second. Just this picture, and I will talk a little about the nerve, and I will finish it. Okay. I will not give you more details. Now, see, this is the oblique arytenoid. Now, oblique arytenoid, and this continues here as what to say, thyroepiglotticus. So, when they will contract, okay, so what will happen? This will bring what to say, this will be pulled. So you have the openings, or a thyroepiglotticus, it will open, whereas the one they will close will be the oblique. This one, see, this is the oblique arytenoid, and this is the aryepiglottic going from up. So this, when they will pull like this, so this will be closed. So this is the posterior muscle will close the inlet of larynx, and thyroepiglotticus, which is from the anterior side, will open the inlet of larynx. Got it? This is clear to you? Yeah, so this was the, and now I will talk a little about the nerve supply. So in the nerve supply, I told you the main thing. Okay. So now you have the motor supply, sensory supply. Now sensory supply will come again. This is from the vagus, so up to the vocal fold. Okay, so the demarcation is the vocal